Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Cowboys Nation on Player's Choice. This is the first episode of Cowboys Nation on Player's Choice. I want to first start off by saying thank you to everybody at Player's Choice, Laron, Shaq, Claire, everybody involved for making this possible. This is something that I've wanted to make happen for a little bit here, and we got it on the ground. So I just want to say thank you to everybody involved in that. And my notification from my phone just went off. So we are expecting more people to come in through the panel, but for right now, we have Trent. Everybody knows him from Player's Choice. What's up, bro?
That was good. It was good. I mean, the chat always know me. You know, I'm a big Giants fan. You know, my pops here. So, I can't wait. Of course, I know the Cowboys. We're going to talk a lot of smack. It's here every year. So I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I'm excited for Sunday football, bro. It's going to be fun. I'm excited, bro. Excited.
Yes, sir. Ooh. We got my man, the big fella.
What's up, Chris? Hey, I like how Trent just automatically think we're gonna start talking smack to him or something like that, man. I'm not gonna do it tonight, man. All I got to say is 1-11 against the Cowboys, but we ain't gonna bring that up right now, man. But hey, I'm just excited to be here, man. Thanks for the invite, and it's gonna be a wonderful season.
Absolutely. And we got my man Rue from Allow Me to Butt In. Say what's up to everybody real quick, Rue.
What's happening, baby? Can't wait. Let's get started.
And my name is Chris. I'm your host.
It's a parade inside my city. Yeah.
So real quick, let's get into the news real quick. Garcia, make sure that the mic is on. Let's get into the news real quick. So Tyler Smith suffered a hamstring strain. That was the MRI results that came back today. So that's going to be something to monitor throughout the days here. Terrence Steele just signed a contract extension. He now has 6 years left, max of $91.8 million, 23 base, 1.3 million, 24 base, 7.25 million, 25, 26 base is going to be 13.25. And those are the contract details there. Jerry Jones was on 105.3 The Fan today, and he had something to say about Dak Prescott. He says that he expects Dak Prescott to be the quarterback for the Cowboys long term. Here's the sound clip.
Jerry, Dak's cap number next year is $59 million. Is that something that you guys will continue to discuss during the season, or will you table talks as soon as the year starts officially after week one?
Well, I know you're implying on discussion. Those numbers on those contracts, those types of numbers, especially the big ones, you live with constantly. That's always on your mind. There's never a time when it goes away, because you've got to make the entire thing fit. And so it's on the mind on a player decision in the middle of the year. And so it's just a fundamental. We expect Dak to be with us a long time. And we're always working around it with several machinations.
Okay, so that's what Jerry Jones had to say. So I want to get into this. I want you guys to answer this one question. And if you want to add on to it, that's perfectly fine. Do you think that the Cowboys will extend Dak Prescott? And then if you want to answer this question, should they? That's perfectly fine. Let's just make sure we answer this first question. Rue, I'll start with you.
I think that happens. I think that's going to happen eventually. I think it's going to be a lot based on what happens this season. It's no secret that we're right on the cusp of where we need to be to take it all the way and do what we need to do to come away with the Super Bowl this season. But Dak has to come through on his end of it. And I don't expect this team to have to rely on him completely, because this defense is just going to be extremely good. But Dak Prescott's going to have to take that next step in the playoffs this season. I know what he's going to do in the regular season. The question still remains with everybody on their minds, what's going to happen in these playoffs, and is he going to be able to get over that second round hump that he hasn't been able to get past?
Ben, I want you to answer this next, but you got to turn on your mic. So I'll go to Trent. Oh, yeah, we'll stick with Trent.
I think it's no choice that they should you should easily extend Dak for the contract, because you can still give for like a 2-3 year, and then Trey Lance is 23. Even though I wasn't expecting him to come to the Cowboys, but you have a young quarterback sit and learn and just stay there while you still have basically a top 10 quarterback, top 11, top 12 quarterback, and you're still trying to make that push. But also it does depend on what Dak does. I kind of agree with Rue. He has to perform. He has to Like I want to see Dak how he was in 2020 before he got injured. Like we need to see that kind of Dak Prescott again before all this stuff happens. So yeah,
So I'll go to you, Ben.
Yeah, no, with Dak Prescott, I think it's not a mistake to sign him. I'm one of those people that gets seen as a Dak Prescott hater, and that's just not the case. Dak Prescott at $40 million a year is something I have a problem with. It's not Dak Prescott at $35 million a year, because to me, he's not a top 10 quarterback. So it really depends on what the contract extension looks like for Dak. And I don't believe at all that the Cowboys will extend Dak. I think they know what his ceiling is. He's 2-4 in playoff games. He's not able to win multiple playoff games in the same series. That's indisputable at this point. So at this, I don't think that they will extend Dak Prescott. But if the price comes around, then of course anything's possible.
Hey, all right, you know where I'm going with this one next, big fella. Take it away.
Well,
Did I just set myself up to get absolutely jumped in this?
Hey, no.
No.
Ben, I'm not gonna jump you because we just met. Okay, so I want to ease into this, right?
Let me have it. Let me have it.
Hey, I'm a big Dak proponent fan. I like to how people judge Dak before his career, in the middle of his career. And they you said he's not a top 10 quarterback, and I want you to name 10 other quarterbacks that's better than him. And matter of fact, name 5 in the NFC, but you can't. So that's cool with that. But to answer your question, Chris, yes, they should extend Dak. That's fine with me. Don't even worry about this Trey Lance thing. I think it's nothing to worry about. Whatever Jerry says, as Cowboy fans, is just talk. Okay, so I'll let Ben warm up first before the big fella pushes 300 pounds on
it. Oh man, I love it.
It's a big show.
Oh man, Kyle, take it away.
Yeah, I think financially it just makes sense whether you like Dak Prescott or not. Financially, it just makes sense because it's just going to clear up that room and allow the team to build. Because that cap hit's going to get bigger the year after. Yeah, I mean, you can get in conspiracy theories and things about Trey Lance and stuff like that. Bottom line is, you can be right both ways, I think. I think you can extend Dak, but you can also protect the franchise as a whole and go trade a 4th rounder for a young prospect like Trey Lance. I know you guys are like me. Like, we went through the Chad Hutchinson days, the Drew Henson days, the Vinny Testaverde days, the Drew Bledsoe days. So I'm all on board to have someone in the back that we're going to be developing. And I mean, both sides can get something really good out of this, Trey Lance and the Dallas Cowboys. We've seen quarterbacks that have benefited from sitting a season or two and watching a starting quarterback. We've seen it with Patrick Mahomes. We've seen it with Tony Romo. So, Trey Lance is just on the shelf right now, and I'm fine with that. But in terms of Dak Prescott's contract, financially, it does make sense to get it done. I think they are going to get CeeDee Lamb's contract done really soon, and I think they're going to move on to Dak. And should they? Probably they should. I think so, because you don't have the rightful heir. You don't have the rightful successor to Dak Prescott just yet. And the Cowboys have been in the dog days without one, so they're going to make sure there is one before they kick Dak Prescott out the door.
Absolutely. Here's my thing, right? When it comes to the topic of Dak Prescott's contract, I knew he was going to get an extension when he signed that last contract. Because here's the thing. Dak Prescott has all the leverage in the world right now. Oh, Jerry Jones, you don't want to pay me? I will hit the free agency market as a 32-year-old quarterback. Teams are going to pay a lot of money for Dak Prescott's services, whether it's the Cowboys or whether it's another team if he hits the open market, which I don't believe he will, because they're not going to let a $60 million cap hit happen under Stephen Jones's watch. I just don't see it happening. Here's my thing, right? So in Dak Prescott's last contract, he got the years he wanted. He got the money he wanted. He got the no trade clause that he wanted. He got the, He got the no tag clause that he wanted. He got a fantastic deal, and he got that deal because he knew he was going to be able to get a new deal very soon. But here's the thing. I think if the Cowboys could extend Dak Prescott right now, they would do it in a heartbeat. but it takes two sides to tango, because you have to look at it from Dak Prescott's standpoint. Why would I want to re-sign with you guys right now when I can wait for Joe Burrow to go get his extension, and then I'll go, we can talk after Joe Burrow gets his extension? Or if Dak Prescott really believes in himself, which I think we can all agree, Dak Prescott has the tools to be one of the very best quarterbacks in the league. I think he's a very good quarterback who I think still has a little bit that he can get out of himself. If he really wants to bet on himself, go out there, ball out next year, have a good playoff run, wait for Trevor Lawrence to get his extension, and then go get extended after Trevor Lawrence. So that's my thing with Dak Prescott's contract. I think it's going to happen, but I think right now Dak Prescott's waiting and saying, I'll wait for this to play out.
The longer he
Anybody got
waits,
anything
the
else?
price goes up. You're
Absolutely.
right there.
So I believe it's Dak Prescott saying, I'm good on this. So next topic that I want to talk about, Mike McCarthy is now the play caller for the Cowboys. He's been the head coach for the Cowboys since 2020. They let go of Kellen Moore. So I want to get into this. What is your level of faith in Mike McCarthy? Ben, set it off.
I don't think Mike McCarthy's a bad head coach. I get painted as a Cowboy hater. That's not the case. I think Cowboy fans, for the most part, are a little bit of a sensitive group because when you come after their team, they tend to attack. That's okay. That happens with a lot of big market teams. This is just the big idea here with the Cowboys. Mike McCarthy is fine. I have no problems with Mike McCarthy, the head coach. It's Mike McCarthy, the play caller that, I don't have problems with. It's Mike McCarthy, the time manager, and it's the little things with him. I did not agree with letting go of Kellen Moore. Dak Prescott was flourishing under Kellen Moore, and then they decided to get rid of him. You know, people point to things like last year with Dak Prescott, the picks. They want to blame either Dak. They want to blame whoever the OC is at the time. Mike McCarthy, again, is not going to be the problem. He's going to call he's a Super Bowl champion. Again, it's Dak. Dak Prescott is the problem for the Cowboys. He's making too much money. You can't allocate it to other parts of your team that you need. And for that reason, there's a reason why, again, he's 2-4 in the playoffs. These are just indisputable facts with Dak Prescott that Cowboy fans can't seem to bush around because last year we saw it. Was it the play caller's fault when he threw the ball to Fred Warner in the playoffs? Was it his fault when he threw another interception earlier in the game in the division?
Play caller's fault.
Wait,
It actually was.
They never should have thrown the ball in that situation. I'm sorry.
You got to run the ball in that situation.
I'm sorry, but Ben, I just had to make that quick correction.
No. Listen. That's fine. I wouldn't blame the play caller for Dak Prescott throwing straight to someone's hands because both picks were atrocious in that game.
Okay.
Dak Prescott is a quarterback away, is one win outside of a win last year, which was one of the worst playoff teams in the Tampa Bay Bucks that we had seen in recent years. He's not a winning quarterback.
I gotta interject here because
Please do.
I gotta defend Dak today, bro. Okay, so I would say it's both. I would say that because you look at Dak's last year, and people always go to run to the interceptions, and we always have to put context like almost like 8 or 9 of those picks were literally like drop passes turned into picks. That's not Dak's fault. Now I will say though, Dak has always in his career had some plays where he's throwing some shit and be like, "Yo, what the like you throwing some bull?" But on this case though, I feel like it's both ways because I'm not gonna lie, I don't trust Mike McCarthy as a play caller. Yeah, I feel you. He's had won a Super Bowl, but he had that one like a top 5 quarterback to me of all time, Aaron Rodgers. He had with that. So I don't trust Mike McCarthy. Kind of think he's a fraud, but I think I don't know if I think it goes both ways. I don't think it's strictly on Dak. I don't think that's.
You can continue to point to how many I literally couldn't give a damn about any of the tip balls that happened in the regular season because that's not what I'm talking about. Dak Prescott is a fine regular season quarterback. Do the Cowboys want to win championships? And I'm assuming all of you guys want to win championships. That's what matters, right? Dak Prescott, again, able to win multiple playoff games in the same year. That's my argument of Dak. He cannot get you to even the second biggest stage in the NFC Conference Championship game. He's not capable of doing that. He hasn't shown he's done that. And I can't believe we need, what is it, year 8 with Dak? That we need more proof of this. So that's my argument.
I ain't agreeing with that. I mean, we're going to have the Cowboy fans to talk about that because that's their quarterback. That ain't my quarterback. So, I mean, hey.
we just always talk when I bring up the interceptions. They'll say, "Oh, a lot of them were tipped." I really couldn't care about any of that. What does he do in the playoffs? He consistently underperforms, and that's
so. I gotta ask you something. I gotta ask you
Do
something
you want to win
because
championships?
you've said that repeatedly
Please.
at this point, and now I'm just getting annoyed because at the end of the day, this is a team game, right? Is this not a team game? When your defense lets up 200 yards on the ground to the other team, is it hard to win? Absolutely. Now, am I saying that Dak is
270?
I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Dak is blameless in these losses because I won't. I won't tell you that. I'm probably one of the biggest Dak critics out of many Cowboy fans that I know. But I know what I feel about coming. Well, I mean, it is what it is. I know what I feel about coming out of this season. But if we're going to talk about the past real quick, you can't just put everything on him when you're playing. When you're playing and you're doing your job, and the other side of the ball is not. There's only so much you can do. And when you're talking about last season, when these guys are literally, I still have nightmares about the one Noah Brown caught in his chest, bounced in the air and cost us the game. I'm just like, are you kidding? Are you serious, bro? You're going to put that on Dak Prescott? Dak Prescott hits you in the chest, pops up in the air, goes to the other team. That's on him. Help me understand, man. Like that happened at least a handful of times throughout the entire year. Not to mention, like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that last year he even had the best year. I'm on record. He had the worst season he's ever had. Still won 12 games, though. Still won 12 games, beat Tom Brady for the first time, threw 5 touchdowns in the playoffs, which you're going to tell me they're the shittiest team in the playoffs ever. Like the Eagles just had such a hard road into what they got to luck up into. I'm just saying it's funny how we crown all these other people for the fortunes that they have, but when you clearly see the misfortunes that are happening to this team, we're just going to ignore it like it just never happened.
And that's my thing, right? When it comes to Dak Prescott in the playoffs, okay, you can look at his record, but I don't know if everybody here agrees with me. Wins aren't a quarterback stat; they're not. So when you throw the playoff record in my face, my question to you is this: is it? You want to know what, Dak? You should have played defensive tackle against the Rams. You put up 22 points on a team that Tom Brady couldn't move the ball on in the Super Bowl. You should have went and played defensive tackle. What are you doing? Are you kidding me? That game against Green Bay his rookie year, he was really good in that game. Dak Prescott's played good football in the playoffs. No doubt about it. He has to play better against the 49ers. And I put a lot of blame on him for that game in the playoffs. But at the end of the day, if you're sitting here trying to tell me that there is right now a quarterback that they can go get, not saying that obviously there are quarterbacks that are better than them, that quarterbacks that they can go actually physically get are better than this guy, I have to disagree with you. Right now, the best chance that the Cowboys have to win is with Dak Prescott as their quarterback. He's the guy that's going to give them the best chance to win for multiple seasons to come, because who are you bringing in here that's going to be better than the guy? You're going to be worse because of you getting rid of Dak Prescott.
I wasn't sure if you wanted me to respond. I was going to let other people talk. But here's what I'll say to that. We always talk about Dak Prescott should have went and played defensive tackle. That's awesome. Maybe you guys aren't. Maybe we have a different stratosphere of evaluating quarterbacks. That's totally fine with me. When you are I just looked it up right now, the 4th highest cap hit this year, when you make that much money, you are going to have a bigger target on your back. I'm not going after other quarterbacks because they don't make as much money. And when we are going to praise Dak Prescott for having an amazing game against them on Monday Night Football in the playoffs last year against a 45-year-old Tom Brady, you want to talk about how easy the Eagles' path had it. Dak Prescott got to play 45-year-old Tom Brady, and then Brock Purdy, the third-string mystery-relevant quarterback. We can talk about all that. Dak Prescott.
That's nasty. That's so disgusting.
It's a team.
We're not, bro. Playing Cowboys. I got you, bro. Because you're saying he's going up against Brock Purdy. It's not a 1v1. They're not playing 1v1 basketball. He's on. You guys are a crazy team. Now I'm not excusing Dak's play because I don't think he played good, but I just don't like the logic that he's going up against Dak. He's going against.
But I have someone else.
I gotta say though. So are you telling me? Are you telling me right now? As we sit here today, you'd take Brock Purdy over Dak Prescott today? Today, right now?
No, absolutely not. That's not what I'm saying at all.
No.
Okay. So
I'm not disrespectful. I'll be honest with you.
No. But the problem that I have is like, it's not Dak versus Brock Purdy. It's Dak versus the San Francisco 49ers defense, which here's the thing. Yes, Dak Prescott needs to finish. No, I'm not going to argue with you on that. You're absolutely right with that. But at the same time, shit, man, if you're going to struggle against any defense, I would rather you struggle against that defense than the Chargers defense or whatever. No disrespect to them. They're a playoff defense, but I'm just saying, like, that's an elite defense. You're going to struggle against anybody. Struggle against that defense.
Well, here, listen, we can even go for it. No, go for it.
Just real quick, I'm not going to sit here and make excuses for him because believe me, I was at the one the year before that. Believe me, I was sick. I'm on record. $40 million freaking quarterback. You can't do this and that in the first quarter, and you can't do your job. But you still have to look at both sides of it. Obviously, I was emotional, and it was just like, you know what? But we do this. We blame the quarterback for the faults of the entire team, and it's like, bro, 270 yards on the ground, 270. He barely saw the field, and it was like when he did, he had to be perfect. And again, I can't excuse him for his poor play. His kryptonite right now is the San Francisco 49ers. God bless him if we see him this year, but hey, it's a good chance that we probably will. We probably will because that team is good enough to get their quarterback, as mediocre and as average as he may be, to that point. You know, it's one of those situations where it's like this division is wide open. And if my quarterback is Dak Prescott, I arguably have the best, if not the second best quarterback in this entire division. My shot at doing what I can do for a Super Bowl for this team right here in the now is very likely to happen. Think about who he has to go through. We're talking about Jalen Hurts, Daniel Jones, Derek Carr. Really, who's he got to go through to make it this year? That's why for me, it's one of those seasons where it's like, hey, man, it's time to nut up or shut up. You need to get on with the train. You need to get off this damn train because this team is literally at the point where it's like we have the best defense in the league, arguably. You can put a couple ahead of ours, but I have the best player in the league, no doubt, with Micah Parsons. Just ask Vegas. Man has him favored to win Defensive Player of the Year. There's plenty of other things going on where it's like, dude, I really don't have to rely on Dak Prescott to be some superstar this year. I just need him to do his job. This team is good enough to move forward and do what it needs to do. But just sticking with Dak, yes, it is a make it or break it, prove it year for him in the sense of, are you going to get that big money long-term extension, or are we just going to, give you the 2-3 year, move that money down the line and start planning for the future? We keep bringing up Trey also. I know me and the big fella had talked about drafting a quarterback all off season. In the middle rounds, all off season, we were like, we're taking a quarterback. Middle rounds.
You remember that big fella DTR? I wanted him on this team.
It's not uncommon for a team to go get quarterbacks. I gave up a 4th round pick to take a shot on a guy that the San Francisco 49ers gave up 3 first round picks and a 3rd pick overall for. I think I'm doing pretty good.
And I do want to get Chris involved in this. Chris, you're way too quiet. I know you got some things to say about this.
Hey, Chris, yes. Listen, I have feelings, okay?
No,
hey, first of all,
no, I'm just playing, man.
First of all, Benjamin, I don't appreciate you talking about our sensitivity as Cowboy fans. Like we can't handle a little talk back and forth because I've been writing things down. I've been listening to what you had to say.
Not all of you.
But I'm gonna say this like this. I've been quiet because I'm new to the show. It's a new show, trying to get everybody to get their things in before the big fella unleashes. Look, it's like this to me, man. Everybody likes to blame Dak Prescott before the Cowboys' downfall. You did the same thing to Tony Romo. You did the same thing, even though Troy Aikman won Super Bowls, you did it to him. Okay, you did it to Roger Staubach. You did it to Danny White, especially, because Danny White went to a bunch of championship games. And y'all said he couldn't win the big one, but, he ran across, some hell of a teams. So when you continuously blame Dak Prescott for the Cowboys' downfall, you don't watch any Cowboy games at all. okay? Because if you say Dak don't win games, okay, like Rue said, it is a team game, but you don't give Dak Prescott credit for that first time when they played Green Bay in the playoffs. They down 22 points, and Dak Prescott come back with a vengeance. Damn near threw for 450 yards, but nobody give him credit for it, okay, because he lost the game, okay? Look, you can't keep blaming Dak Prescott for the Cowboys' downfall. You need to talk about your coaching staff. You need to talk about personnel. And I think now the Cowboys have fixed these issues, okay? So, okay, I give you the pass. Ben, you got it. You got the pass. It's Dak's fault, okay? I'm going to give you that. So this year, we're going to come back and we're going to revisit everything you just said. And once we revisit it, hold on, Ben, I'll let you talk. The big fellow was quiet. I was trying to make sure you got all your facts in, okay? Hey, all right. So all I'm telling you is the big fella and Ben, we're going to get together. We're going to have a couple of cold ones. We're going to sit back and we're going to talk. And then I'm going to say, remember that first show, Ben? You remember the first show? You remember all that crap you was talking about number 4? And then you're going to say, big fella, you're right, man. I am so sorry. I like to apologize. And I say, nope, I'm sensitive. I don't want your apology.
Just so you know, if that ever happens, and it won't, we have 7 years of data. I will gladly come on. I will never, ever stray away from being wrong or from being right. I'll toot my horn when I'm right, and I'll let you guys absolutely come after me if I'm wrong. But we have enough years of data. I seriously see myself as a Dallas Cowboy.
Ben, I got a question for you.
He identifies.
He's not the guy.
Hold up. He identifies as a Dallas
I'm a
Cowboys
helper.
truther. He is really a Dallas Cowboys hater, identifying as a Dallas Cowboys truther. What are your pronouns, sir? But that's besides the point. Man. So, all right. This is the last time we're gonna beat up on you, Ben, and then I want to talk.
No, beat up on me. I have strong opinions. You guys have strong takes.
I got respect for you. I've told you in the past how much I got respect for you. But okay, you made a take that you posted on social media about teams that weren't going to make the playoffs. Who was the first team you put in there?
You did not put us in there.
Let's put this in there first. 50% of NFL teams do not make the playoffs if they make it the year prior. This was a very tough. I had to pick 7 teams. The teams I picked were the Dallas Cowboys. Do I feel great about that? No.
Fair.
Case for it. Absolutely. Kellen Moore's gone. I didn't like the loss of that. I'm obviously a Dak Prescott truther. I've said it before. He only has 2 games over 100 passer rating. One.
So is truther another word for hater? I'm just trying to figure that out, because when you keep throwing truther at that, I'm like, what the hell is truther? That means hater. Look, you left the Cowboys. You left the Cowboys out of the playoffs. You left
this defense. With this defense, you left the Cowboys out of the
playoffs. A top 3 team in the NFC. You left out the playoffs.
Hold up, time out. To be fair, he said he had to pick 7 teams, and he doesn't feel great about it. And he doesn't feel great
about that. Listen,
who are the other 6? I need to hear the other 6.
I'd have to find the list because I don't have it right in front of me.
Yeah,
at least a couple of them.
You need to find that list.
I'll get it.
It can't be that hard.
I'll get it for you.
I mean, Minnesota made the playoffs. The Giants made the playoffs. Is it just the NFC you had to pick 6 or 7, or you had to pick 7 in both?
And AFC. So my 2 AFC teams, I picked the Chargers. And who the heck was the other team? Guys, you got to
funny. That's where Kellen Moore went. You have a lot of faith in Kellen Moore, I see. Just saying.
Watch the video. I have no faith in Brandon Staley. That's what I'm talking about. Problems.
I'm just saying. Like Kellen Moore is supposed to be this godsend.
You did.
Oh my God, Kellen Moore is the most overrated coordinator ever. I swear. I'm so glad to have the stench of Jason Garrett off this team. You have no idea. But that's just really funny to me that you left them off. That's where he went.
I can give you the teams right now if you guys want.
Hold up,
I would love to hear this,
Benjamin. Here was my problem with the take. If that's your take, that's your take. It is what it is. My thing is, I think you made a stronger case for the Cowboys to make the playoffs than you did for them to not make the playoffs, because your case was that Kellen Moore is out and that Mike McCarthy is at the helm. But your like counter argument to that was even though they added Brandon Cooks and Stephon Gilmore, like those aren't just small additions. Like you're talking about two important positions that they significantly upgraded at. Stephon
I don't know
Gilmore
about
is a
significantly.
Oh,
I wouldn't say they
hold
upgraded.
up.
I wouldn't say
Anthony
significantly.
Brown,
No.
you're trying to tell me that Stephon Gilmore isn't a significant upgrade over Anthony Brown?
You know what? I'm not going to talk on the Stephon Gilmore one because I couldn't tell you how great you say Anthony Averett.
Anthony Brown.
Exactly.
Okay, Anthony Brown. There you go. You know what's
you
funny?
don't even know
That guy. That one guy.
We got it.
Say Anthony Averett because I thought you said
it's
him, but I was going to say he plays for the Ravens.
Anthony Brown.
Well, I was going to say Anthony Averett. I thought he played for the Ravens, but I couldn't tell you. Like, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I couldn't tell you who the second corner is on the Cowboys. What I will say is Stephon Gilmore was – yeah, there you go. Stephon Gilmore was good last year, and I won't dispute that. He's another year older. It's a new defense. I don't expect him to be all-pro Stephon. I expect him to be good, but Brandon Cooks as well. What is this?
Let me introduce you to Dan
in the
Quinn.
NFL?
Let me hold on.
This was so good. He wouldn't be on seven different.
It's like why am I the Giants fan? Got to defend the Cowboys. It's not.
I don't know. It's mighty fun over here though.
But here's the thing though, like that makes a significant upgrade because Stephon Gilmore is still an elite corner. Even though he's 30, he's still him with Trayvon Diggs, with Michael Parsons, with that defense. That's a top 5 defense in the league. They was already really good. They were already elite without Stephon Gilmore. You add that, and then you have. I think y'all wide receiver 2 last year was Noah Brown. You add Brandon Cooks, who still very consistent receiver, still a huge deep threat for the Cowboys. I think that's probably
Micah's got another year on the leg. Micah's got another year coming off the ACL. He sat out the whole year before. Like you could tell he didn't look like himself last season.
Yeah, they made.
I genuinely think you guys again are misunderstanding what it is.
Yeah,
There's 7 teams I had to pick out of 14.
No, and I get it. No, I'm just curious who the other 6 were. That's my thing. I just want to know who these other 6 are.
I cut Ben off. I apologize.
Well, I've probably cut 15 people off, so just cut me off whenever you guys want. It's so I got it right here for you guys. It's the Cowboys, Vikings, the Giants, the Bucks, the Niners, the Chargers, and the other AFC team that I just forgot off the top of my head because I only picked 2 AFC teams because the AFC is absolutely
you said the Niners
this year. Jags. Yes, that one again.
You're expecting a very different picture in the NFC this year. Who do you like in the NFC?
You playing Madden over there? You control these teams?
Honestly, though, this is you basically picked the entire NFC to be different.
Hold up.
Stay off the weed.
Stay off the weed. I'm very curious. Then who do you like? Because there's only the Saints. What do you like? The Packers. Who do you like in the NFC?
That's actually really funny that you say that. I do like the Saints to come out of the NFC South. I like the Packers to sneak into the playoff I do like the Saints. Sorry, the Packers to come into the playoffs this year as a wild card team.
You think Jordan Love's going to have more wins than Aaron Rodgers did his first year in a worse situation? Much worse situation. All he has is Christian Watson. He doesn't really have anybody outside of Christian Watson.
Let me say this. I do expect the Niners and the Cowboys to be in the playoffs this year. Again, I had to pick 7 teams. I picked them. The Packers are a team
AFC
this year. We saw them in the preseason. Jordan Love was not sacked or pressured in the preseason. A good offensive line. He seems to be connected to Romeo Doubs a little bit. You have the what is it?
Romeo Doubs.
Aaron Rodgers. No, not that's what I said. Romeo Doubs.
Yeah, I get it. Romeo Doubs.
So Romeo Doubs.
Land the plane real quick because I don't want to get off on too much of a tangent.
No.
Okay. Last thing on the Mike McCarthy thing. Because we were getting a bit off of tangent. Kyle, I want you to talk about Mike McCarthy real quick, and then we'll move on to the next topic.
Yeah, man, I'm all on Big Mike. I've been waiting for him. And Rue said it, man. I think one of the biggest things the Cowboys could have done is get rid of any lineage that still existed from the Jason Garrett tree. You just need to get rid of that. And I don't know what's going to happen this year, but all I know is you gave Mike McCarthy his staff. And that is something that I agree with. And that is what I want to see Mike McCarthy do. I want to give him his fair shot. I don't want him to play with Jerry's team. I don't want him to play with Jerry's players or his coaches. I think Mike's the kind of coach similar to Bill Parcells when he took over the Cowboys in the early 2000s, where this needs to be Mike's team from top to bottom. So giving him the play call sheet, and I think he said it best himself in the offseason, where he said, we're going to run the ball. We're not going to be flashy. We're not going to be a top 5 offense, maybe, who knows. But it's all about situational football at this point, in my opinion. You got the team. You have the team. It's guaranteed. You're going to get 12 wins, back-to-back seasons with 12 wins. You have a playoff team already. Now you're just playing for those last 3 games, essentially, in the playoffs. You're trying to close that gap. And what closes that gap? Putting pieces around Dak Prescott with Brandon Cooks, adding to the defense, adding secondary help, but then also just getting a good football mind that can run the ball when you're trying to kill the clock. You look at all those games that the Cowboys gave up. It's because they were running the ball and they weren't playing smart situational football. You look at the Packers game. You look at the Jaguars game. This all goes back to the play caller. And if you can just run the ball in those situations, the Cowboys, I think their season looks a little bit different. So I'm really excited to see Mike McCarthy get that play call sheet, and I think he's going to excel. I think it's going to be a good season.
Absolutely. So obviously we have a big game coming up here on Sunday Night Football. I'm excited for the game, guys. I mean, I think that this is a great matchup to start off the season. I was actually on Trent's podcast, and I said that, I respect the Giants a little more than a lot of other Cowboys fans do. So one thing, to me, here's the thing, though. I think that the Cowboys win this game. When you look at the matchups on this team, on both sides, I like the Cowboys defensive line versus the Giants offensive line. I'm a little skeptical about the Cowboys offensive line versus the Giants defensive line if Tyler Smith isn't available to go in this game. Because when you talk about offensive linemen, especially when it comes to that hamstring and when you're trying to anchor down, you need your lower body when it comes to anchoring down, especially when you're playing that guard spot where that's so critical. That's a little bit of a worry to me. But when I look at all the other matchups, I like our wide receivers versus their cornerbacks. I like our cornerbacks versus their wide receivers. Darren Waller is going to be a guy to look out for, but I like how Jaron Kearse matches up on him. I like a lot of matchups on the Cowboys. So I'll start this off with you, Trent. Change my mind. What am I getting wrong here? Am I getting anything wrong? Is it crazy? Is it crazy for me to expect a double-digit win for the Cowboys?
I mean, I don't think it's crazy. I don't think you're wrong. I just feel like it could be a closer game than what a lot of people think. Because even though last year, both games when we played, I think we lost one score both games. And mind you, last year our roster was depleted. We had practice squad receivers playing receiver. We had only person literally out there was Saquon Barkley. Like defense was depleted. Even the second time we played, I think we lost it out by like 5-7. Like we had Andrew Thomas was out, Evan Neal was out, Leonard Williams was out, Adoree Jackson. Like there's so many people that were out. So now when it's fully healthy and now that we actually have an offense that's like stable, we actually have weapons. We have a Darren Waller. Like respectfully, I understand you saying Javon Kearse, I think that's the bro's name, the safety. He can guard tight as well. I'm not gonna lie, that's barbecue chicken. He's getting fried if he's guarding different. But I can see the Cowboys winning like double digits, and I can see us winning by 7, or I can see us even being a dogfight or a game-winning kick can happen because this offense, because the Giants defense now is good. Now we got to see how Trey Hawk is going to perform because he's been good in preseason, and Deonte Banks. We got to see that for sure. I like how you said. I like how Dexter Lawrence is probably going to be a major problem because really nobody can block Dexter Lawrence besides Jason Kelsey. He's going to be a major problem. If Aziz and Kayvon Thibodeau can actually break out how I think our pass rush can really be effective that game. And also that I talked about the blitzing and stuff that we now have Isaiah Simmons. We have a crazy blitzer, and we all know Wink likes to blitz. And Dak is not going to – this ain't Mississippi State Dak. So he's not going to be running all over and scrambling over the pocket. So I just think that if we're able to guard it, because our defense were bad last year, if we're able to guard our receivers, because of course CeeDee Lamb's going to get his because that's a top 10 receiver. CeeDee Lamb is like that. If we're able to hold the wide receivers down a little bit and able to get pressure, we can. I think that for sure can make us win that game. But the game can really go either way. If you have the Cowboys winning, cool. If you have the Giants winning, cool. I just don't think I don't think I think the biggest margin I can see is like 10, 14 for the Cowboys. So
okay, I'll go to Ben on this one.
Yeah, I'll be quick here. Giants win by 40. No, I'm just kidding. No, I would expect the I know all you guys are hot there for a second. No, the Cowboys.
I know you're trolling.
Game, and I expect the Cowboys to win anywhere from 3 to 7 points. I know it's still a divisional game. It's a dogfight. It's on the road. If I'm not mistaken, that game is on the road. For all the people in the comment section, I live in Arizona. I cover all the Arizona teams. I don't know anything. I can't keep track of all those. But I do expect the Cowboys to win this game. I mean, it's a team. They're going to bring out their best stuff that they've dealt with the entire offseason. They drew up on the board. They're going to throw everything on there. And I expect the Giants to pull back this year way more than I believe that the Cowboys will, just so we throw that out there as well. But, yeah, I absolutely expect the Cowboys to take care of business in week 1. Okay,
I'll go to you, Chris.
Well, it explains a lot, Ben, because you cover Arizona football. But I didn't think anybody played football in Arizona. But I understand why you talk like that now. Okay, thank you for clarifying it. I apologize. Okay, look, bro, it's real simple to me. I was on another podcast, and I won't name him, but it's a famous Giant guy. And I told him the Giants' problem is this. They can't beat Dallas and they can't beat Philadelphia. They have improved. I have been a Daniel Jones fan. I've been on record saying I like the kid. I think he's an excellent quarterback. He just needs to be put in the right situation. He got a better coach. Saquon Barkley is healthy. They got a playmaking tight end. They got a new receiver in the draft with Wyatt Hyatt. Okay, playmaker there. But the problem is they don't have a good plan against the Cowboys. They want to run Saquon. And they shut Saquon down. He had the one run in the game last year, but then he did nothing else. He had one run. Okay. So that's the problem that the Giants are going to have with the Cowboys. The Cowboys defense have improved immensely. Okay. The Cowboys offense have improved immensely. Okay. Addition by subtraction has improved the Cowboys. Okay. So this is just my thing. I think the Cowboys are going to win the game. I'm not going to say they're going to win easy, but I just think the Giants don't match up well with the Cowboys. And I think the Cowboys go in New York as usual and win the game. Since 2013 to now, the Cowboys are 16-4 against the Giants.
I'm not going.
They got to change it.
I'm just asking. You don't think we match up well with y'all? I'm just
no. I don't think y'all match up with us.
And then you think that we're going to use Saquon like a workhorse still, even though we have weapons around him now that. Yeah.
Oh, no. I said y'all have improved, okay? And y'all got playmakers now, okay? Mm-hmm. But I still don't think y'all match up well with the Cowboys. Just like when people bring up the Niners with us. In certain situations, we don't match up well with the Niners, okay? That's why the Niners have beat us the last couple times, because they defense have overwhelmed our offense, okay? Our offense matches up is not a good matchup for y'all, because we got 4 weapons, really 5 on offense that y'all got to cover. And I don't think y'all have a great linebacker play or secondary play. Your defensive line is wonderful. I like them, but I just don't think you match up with the Cowboys offense.
That's definitely fair, because we're so mainly wait to see, because we got Deontay Banks first round pick and we got Trey Hawkins, who came from 6th round pick to first round for starter. So now, I mean, I don't know if we can match up. We just have to see with the game, because I can't really speak on the secondary part because we got rookies out there. So I mean, that's fair.
And for your point, Trent, what's a good way to cover up a secondary? Good defensive line play, which is what the Giants have. I want to go to you, Kyle, and then Rue, you can finish us off. And then we're going to, if you guys want to hop on the stream, the link is somewhere. I'll drop the link again, but if you guys want to hop on, you can hop on, Kyle, and then Rue.
Yeah. So first off, shout out to you, Ben. I'm from Arizona as well. So Suns are going to win it all this year. But
them and the Cardinals.
Right. No. The Giants, I like the Giants. I'm with Chris on this one. I like the Giants. I'm a huge fan of Daniel Jones. I like Saquon Barkley. but it's just kind of it's being good at the wrong time because you look at the division. You got the Cowboys and the Eagles that are substantially better than the Giants. It's pretty simple. I think the Cowboys should take care of their business here. I feel like they're just picking up right where they left off last season, or at least I hope they are. I hope they do. This game's going to be only close only if the Cowboys shoot themselves in the foot. If we see multiple interceptions, if we see fumbles, I know the defense is going to show up. So I'm definitely going to be pointing my eyes towards the offense to show up and not make any mistakes. Because if it's a game, it's probably going to be the offense's fault. But I'll give you a score prediction that I've had. I think the Cowboys win this 34-19. And that's not to disrespect the Giants. I think the Giants are going to have a great year. I think they're going to build on what they did last season. But Cowboys are they're a better football team, and they got a lot more to play for. I mean, these guys are hungry. They've been waiting all off season to play. Michael Parsons been talking about it. So I do hope they pick up right where they left off and they take care of business.
And then Rue, make this real quick so I can get Surf in here.
Not a big deal.
Quick.
Honestly, man, for what I'm looking at with this, spreads at 3.5. You got an over under at 46.5. I really, first game, away game, I know we're the better team. The biggest thing the biggest thing that stands out to me, I really like their defensive front. I think they got better at linebacker with Isaiah Simmons. And I think really it's their secondary that's going to leave them the most vulnerable. My biggest question for the game for us is, are we going to be able to run the ball? Are we going to be able to run the ball in the trenches? Are we going to be able to take care of business on the ground to make sure that our pass game is able to open itself up? But ultimately, I hate the hook because 3.5 is always just lingering, and it's not by a huge margin, but slim margin tells you the betting public likes the Giants plus the 3.5. I think Cowboys win it by at least a touchdown. If I really had to put a number on it, both games were within a possession last season, and they really blew their opportunity in the first game. That's really what I wanted to harp on. They had an opportunity in that first game when they played against Cooper Rush. Daniel Jones had like 80 yards on the ground. Saquon had another 80 yards on the ground. They freaking blew it. They blew the game and a chance to win and a chance to beat us. And our defense did their job, and I expect them to do the job exactly just as they did last season as well.
Okay. Yeah, finish up.
But yeah, I think it'll be close. Never going to count out a divisional opponent, but I think it's going to be like a 27-17 kind of game, 24-17 kind of game.
Cool. So I want to add 2 people into the stream. This is a part of the show that I definitely want to have going forward, just because a lot of people hate the Cowboys. And so I want you guys to come in here and let us know about it. And, we definitely encourage debate on this show. So I got 2 people coming in right now. What up?
Hey, how y'all doing? What's going on, fellas?
All right, so Surf, get your lick off first because you were in here first, and then Lucas, you got it after that.
Hey, man, how y'all doing? Thank you for having me, bro.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm a Cowboys fan. I'm not the hater. What I was going to say, Ben, can I hear your top 10 QBs?
Ooh.
Do we have time to hear top 10 quarterbacks? It's not my show.
Yeah.
Run them down
real quick.
Just run them quick.
I'm just gonna name 10 quarterbacks that I'd rather over Dak. I won't put them in exact order. Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, Rodgers, Herbert, Lamar, Trevor Lawrence. I'd still take Matthew Stafford over him until we see Matthew Stafford continuously play.
The weed.
I mean, he's a Super Bowl champion. Super Bowl champion.
Keep going.
I'd take Kyler Murray as well over him. I would take Kyler Murray over Dak Prescott. I would take Kyler Murray over Dak Prescott.
Kyler Murray?
No.
I would take Kyler Murray over.
Kyler Murray's about to do the job of Caleb Williams next year, man.
Hold up.
Dak Prescott.
I got a question, Ben. You say Lamar, you get on Dak Prescott for his playoff record. What's Lamar's playoff record? You want me to look up Lamar's stats?
One playoff win.
Hold up.
Yeah. How much was Lamar making then? What was
why
Lamar's
are you so
wide
worried about
receivers
the
then?
money, though?
Nothing.
Wait, why does it matter how much money he's making?
It's about the play.
Wait, why does the money matter? How much he's making? Why does that matter?
Why? I'm not trying to be rude here, sir. Do you understand how the salary cap works? Because you need
but why does
that money to allocate money.
But why does that matter according to his play?
If Dak Prescott is taking up $40 million a year, that means there's less money for everyone else.
that
Go for it,
doesn't
Cowboys.
matter though, Ben.
No, that doesn't matter right here, buddy. Stop it.
Hold up.
Go ahead, B.
Hold up, guys.
That's the
Here's my
quarterback
thing.
market.
So quarterback traits, right, are how well you can throw the football, how accurate you are, how good you are in the pocket, how good you are throwing the ball down the field. It has nothing to do with how much you're getting paid. That is not a quarterback trait. You cannot factor that in when you're naming the top 10 quarterbacks in the league. Because if you're going to say that, you have to look at, a high earner like
Daniel Jones.
Yeah, like
Kyler Murray.
I don't like
Watson.
Daniel Jones
Hold
either.
on. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Daniel Jones.
No, let me
let's not bring Daniel into it.
Hold up. Let me finish this real quick. You say Lamar Jackson. Hold up. I got something for Ben. Ben, you say Lamar Jackson, right? Do you know what Lamar Jackson's stats are in the playoffs? You believe that wins are a quarterback stat. He's 1-3 in that. So you want to get on Dak Prescott for his playoff record. Lamar Jackson had better teams in the playoffs and still lost those games. That team in 2019 won 14 regular season games. He goes into the playoffs and completes 52% of his passes while throwing two interceptions in a playoff game. He has a passer rating of 68.3 with 3 touchdowns and 5 interceptions in the playoffs. So if you're going to talk about Dak Prescott's performance in the playoff, you have to hold Lamar Jackson accountable. You have to hold him to that same standard.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely hold Lamar Jackson to the same standard. Both guy hasn't performed well in the playoffs, but what I've seen, one guy has an MVP. One guy has had significantly worse weapons than Dak Prescott. Lamar Jackson is the best. Guys, you survey 100 people.
Lost in the playoffs.
I gotta say something there. I have to. I can't.
Go ahead,
go.
Rule.
I can't let
this
it go.
Is disgusting.
When we're talking about Lamar Jackson, I really don't feel like it's not a fair comparison. I'm a Lamar guy. I agree with Ben. When you're talking about weapons, Lamar Jackson's number one receiver was all of 5'9.5" in Hollywood Brown. This dude has never had people around him outside of Mark Andrews, who's I don't think played a full season in a hot minute. I don't know off the top of my head, but
he just played a
not
full
great.
Season last year.
Okay, last year. When was the year before that?
He
sat out last year. No, that's not
Lamar
true.
Jackson can't play
last
year.
season.
Mark
Andrews 100% got hurt last season. That's not true.
Yeah, Mark Andrews got hurt.
100% got hurt last
They
season.
both
At least
get
5
hurt.
games, I think 4 or 5 games. And outside of that, dude, like I'll give you the coaching and everything else, but I can't compare Lamar Jackson and Dak Prescott. They're not the same to me. They're not. It's just you're getting down to wins and
here's the thing. No. But here's the thing. Here's my
Dak
thing.
can't do what Lamar can do, but there's things that Dak can do that Lamar can't do.
No, but
that's how it works, though.
It's not a fair comparison. It really don't like it's. They're not in the same spectrum.
But here's my thing. I'm not comparing the two. I just want the two to be held to the same standard. It shouldn't like. That year that Lamar Jackson won MVP, he lost in the first round of the divisional round, and he wasn't good. He threw 2 interceptions in the playoffs. That's, I mean, is it?
But it doesn't matter because he wasn't making money. That's why.
Right, he wasn't making no money.
So it doesn't matter.
If you want to compare, well, first off, again, he won an MVP. Lamar Jackson has been unanimously voted the best player by the players. Again, kind of.
I'm not going for that. They voted for Russell Wilson too.
Okay, Russell Wilson was elite at one point.
The best player in the league.
Russell Wilson was elite.
He was the best player in the league.
Russell Wilson's prime.
I don't know if Russell ever got number
Russell
1,
Wilson's
did he?
prime was way better than Dak Prescott's prime, and it's not comparable.
Lamar, I could get into it.
That's debatable.
What?
You guys would? Okay, guys,
and Dak's not done. Dak is not done.
Dak's
let's not go there.
Dak's not done.
Dak is definitely not done.
He's done in his book.
We just forgot about.
Can you repeat what you said? I did not hear you. About what they're going crazy about. I did not hear you.
Surf mentioned. I was just throwing statistics out there and reasonings for Lamar Jackson, saying Lamar Jackson is the better quarterback. And Surf I had said that there's a bad list out there in the top 100 of the NFL players, but he was still named the number 1 player. Consensusly, players think he's a better player than Dak Prescott. That does mean something. And he had said Russell Wilson.
No, it doesn't.
It's debatable that Russell Wilson and Dak Prescott are.
I got a question.
Because I
got a question for you, Ben.
They put Amon-Ra St. Brown over Zach Martin. I'm sorry.
No. I got a question for you,
I'm
Ben.
telling you, it's not a great list, but consensusly, He's voted every year over Dak.
No, Ben.
It's a popularity contest.
I got a question for you. Is Kirk Cousins better than Lamar?
What's the point you're trying to make here?
No, I'm just saying the players voted Kirk Cousins was better than Lamar this year.
Because Lamar
Yeah,
missed
that's
like 8 games.
Oh, man.
Talking about first off, Lamar missed 8.
I'm just saying it matters. The players play against them, right?
Okay, but y'all got to use context. He only played half the
Missed 8
season, so
games
he's going to be
last year.
voted less.
Yeah, I don't.
Did
that
his
doesn't
skills
make
go
no sense.
away? It's still the same Lamar Jackson.
But
He hurt his knee.
Okay,
His
but
skills went away.
they put that into effect. Why do you think TJ Watt was rated so bad? Because he didn't play that much.
I'm
I
just
don't
saying.
really
so
want to
we
get
are-
into the top 100 list as
how they
much.
do
I'm
it.
just saying that's not a good thing
Because
for
we
you.
are
Don't
going
use that.
telling
That's not a
you.
good thing.
Real quick, so
Okay, maybe you should
I
know how
do
it works
want-
then if you're going to use it.
I didn't use it. You brought it up, buddy.
I
Yikes.
do
You're
want-
talking about it. You don't
Hold
know
on,
how it
hold on,
works.
All right, bro.
Hold
Go
on.
ahead.
All right, let's
Go
not
ahead,
be
go ahead.
sensitive here.
I
Relax.
do want to get back to Kyler Murray over Dak. Why?
That is outlandish,
Listen.
sir.
He lives in
That's where
Arizona.
That is
you lose me.
absolutely outlandish.
Hey,
I can
listen,
hear
listen,
you
listen.
out on
Kyler
other
Murray.
ones. I can't hear you out
I've been
on
watching
that.
that
No,
kid since
hey,
Allen.
hey.
Come on,
The
man.
Kyler Murray one,
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray one, I'll totally take the criticism on. I get it. If people want to say Dak Prescott's better, they have all the reason to do so.
That's
I
fair.
watched Kyler for years. I work out here in Fox Sports Phoenix. One of my deals is I watch Kyler play a lot. I think Kyler Murray's phenomenal. I think he won despite Cliff Kingsbury, not because of Cliff Kingsbury. So I'm
He's
not
a good
going to
quarterback.
fight for
I
the
like him.
I'm not going to fight for the Kyler Murray thing as much as you guys think I will. Dak Prescott, if you want to argue he's a better quarterback, I'm not going to
That's
die on
fair.
that.
Tell me something, man. Why are they tanking away their entire team, looking like they're trying to be that number one pick? They just gonna trade it away? They're gonna build with that?
Because I don't want to divert that much. One thing I will say about the Cardinals, they're tanking for that number one pick so they can trade that away and get like 3 first-round draft picks down the
See,
line.
that's what I've been saying.
And build a team around Kyler Murray. That's what's going on there.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, like, look, here's the thing. Regardless, Dak Prescott, I think he's a top 10 quarterback. I think everybody in here would agree outside of Ben that he's a top 10 quarterback. You know, my
6 to 8.
problem comes when people are like, well, he's not Mahomes or Rodgers or these guys. Yeah, no shit.
We didn't say that.
How many quarterbacks are those guys? But I think that this team can win a Super Bowl with Dak Prescott as their quarterback. And I think it's different than saying Dak can win them a Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes won the Chiefs a Super Bowl this past season. I think that the Cowboys can win with Dak Prescott. Do you know where I'm going with that? I don't like if they win the Super Bowl, it's not going to be because of
Right.
Dak Prescott. I don't think that you need your quarterback because the Rams didn't win because of Matt Stafford. In that Super Bowl, he had 2 interceptions. It's just that the defense was playing at a level that I don't think I've seen since that Denver Broncos defense from 2016 when they won the Super Bowl. Let me know what you guys think about that. Can they win a Super Bowl with Dak Prescott? I'll start with you. Lucas.
Yeah, I think they could. Obviously, like you said, it's not going to be because of Dak. I don't think there's a lot of quarterbacks that you can win because of. Then it's probably like 3 or 4, maybe 5. Yeah, I think he's in that range where it's like he can get you there and play well in the Super Bowl just enough for you to win. But I think you need players around him that can elevate the offense and defense like more than he can do on his own.
Okay, I'll go to you. Let's go back to Ben. I like this.
No, I think after what is just so we're clear, is this Dak's 7th or 8th year in the NFL this year?
8 season, 7
He's going
playing.
into his 8th, yeah.
So
He's going into his 8th. Okay. 7 years of data. We've seen it with Dak Prescott. When Dak Prescott was at his best is when he was making less, not more weapons around
No,
him.
that's
I
incorrect.
don't believe
He also got hurt.
Oh my God.
That's incorrect. His
Believe
best season.
What about
was
Peyton
21.
Manning? Peyton Manning didn't win a Super Bowl.
His
for
best
the
season
Niners.
was the year
What
he got
about
hurt.
John Elway?
Listen,
What about
yeah,
like
let you
all
go
these
through
guys that it took like this long to win? Like we're
let you go
so
through
much
that.
about this like instant gratification, instant satisfaction. There is only one guy, and it's Patrick Mahomes
7 years.
that was able to do what he was able to do in such a short amount of time. And before him, it was Ben Roethlisberger. Like, come on, man. Like these things take time. Dak Prescott is literally at the phase of his career where Tony was like turning that gap, where he's starting to call plays and he's about to lead this off. Like I cannot wait. I cannot wait for this to start. I cannot wait for this man to come out and have this 4,000-yard season, 35 plus touchdowns, like less than 10 interceptions. And I just can't wait.
They're not going to care, though.
By the way, after
offense
you, I'll
that we
go.
were running with Kellen Moore running 4 curls at a time. Like it's just asinine. We're finally having an offense where the defense is going to have to make decisions. My only concern is, are we going to be able to run the ball? Are we going to be able to run the ball? Aside from that, I'm like just these things that we are talking about are absolutely crazy to me. To put Kyler Murray in the same breath as this man right now is absolutely crazy to me. I know you're not like harping on it. Maybe it's just a fan thing, whatever. I mean, aside from that, like this division has never been so wide open. We used to have to go through guys like Aaron Rodgers and like this is so wide open for what we can do. And it's just like I'm hearing all these this is crazy to me. I'm sorry, I'm tangent now.
So
okay,
quick,
so
I do want to let big fella. I want to let big fella get into this because we got this comment here. Let big fella speak. Big fella.
Can I go real quick?
Yeah, real quick. Yeah.
So it took Drew Brees 9 years to win a Super Bowl, and it took Aaron Rodgers 6 years to win a Super Bowl. By the way, so you bringing that up makes no sense. Those are all-time great quarterbacks.
I would love to see their play. I would love to see their playoff success.
Peyton Manning, it took him 8 years.
Exactly.
I would love to see. I bet
your point is mute. Your point is mute.
Guys, Peyton Manning and Aaron Rodgers won a lot of playoff games.
Hold up.
No, they
didn't. No. Hold up. Peyton Manning going into his 8th season was 1-3, and don't sit here and tell me that Dak Prescott's surrounding was better than Peyton Manning because did he have a Hall of Fame receiver and a guy? I don't know if Reggie Wayne's in the Hall of Fame or if you guys think he's going to make it or not. Whatever it may be.
Doesn't matter. He should be.
Borderline Hall of Fame. Dallas Clark, Jeff Saturday, decent offensive line. Edrin James, bro, they had a Hall of Fame coach, and he was 1-3 in the playoffs going into his 8th season.
Drew Brees won one playoff game before he was on that run in the Super Bowl. One playoff
Didn't
game.
mention Drew Brees.
Okay, he's the all-time great. He's the all-time great, is he not?
That's awesome.
He doesn't care.
What I've seen, it's been 7 years with Dak Prescott. When they don't win it again this year, I want everyone in here, just like how. Listen, if Dak Prescott and the Cowboys,
real quick,
if Dak Prescott and the Cowboys just make it to the conference, if they just make it to the conference,
Ben, why don't? Are you a fan?
I don't want, guys. I don't want to get on a tangent here. I do want to let Big Fella speak.
I'm not a fan. Period.
I do want to let Big Fella speak here for a second. Big Fella, cooked.
Hey guys, how are y'all? Y'all doing okay? First of all, I since money is so important to Ben, how much do you make?
Wow. Oh gosh, there's a reason why I married rich, guys.
But Ben, no. Answer my question because you're so concerned about how much Dak Prescott make. How much do you make?
Not a lot.
Because then I'm gonna name, because I know you say you work for Fox, you do a lot of things, but then I'm gonna name 10 other people that work for Fox that does a job better than you, and then you're gonna dispute it. Okay, so money is not the damn issue. Okay, that's number one.
Fox doesn't have a salary cap.
I've been waiting patiently, Ben. I just want you to tell me how much money do you make? You will not tell me because I can name more people that does the job better than you. Okay, so look, it's like this, man. If that's your big caveat that Dak Prescott makes all this money and he can't win anything, you're false. You're wrong. Okay, because hey, I'm currently living here in Denver. I need to get back to Texas as soon as I can. But hey, you forget about John Elway was in the league 12 years before he even went to the damn Super Bowl till he got a Hall of Fame running back and receivers. But you don't want to talk about that either. Okay, but it's Dak Prescott 8th year. Like I say, I'll be in Arizona week 3. I'm gonna come find you, and then I want you to show me your pay stub.
He is gonna be there on the cool.
Do I respond to that, or do I just let it go?
That was crazy, Chris. Big fella. That was a mic drop.
Respond to that, and then I want to hear Kyle's thoughts on this.
I'm gonna be really quick. Here's what I'll say about that. There's a lot of people that do my job better than me. Secondly, I won't tell you how much I make because that's dumb for anyone to say how much they make on an air with even 5 people watching. Much less, what do we have here, 60? Thirdly,
Are we doing great?
salary cap. Fox doesn't have a wide receiver. Fox doesn't have a tight end. Fox is not the same thing as the NFL, so no, it's not the same thing. The more money, the more
It's
money.
a parade inside my city. Yeah.
Can I rebut
the more? Listen, here, let me just sit on this.
Let Chris go back.
The more
I love
money.
this. I want to sit back and watch this.
Round 2.
Dak Prescott continues to make, and he's going to make more in his next extension. I don't think they should extend him, but they probably will because, like Cowboys Beat said, they want to continue to stay relevant. Dak Prescott does that. The more money he continues to make, he's going to suck away from other positions that you need. And you have players that you and I both know need contract extensions soon. Micah Parsons, other guys.
I'm sorry.
deal.
I'm sorry.
But
I
rest.
I got to ask you this question. So they signed Terrence Steele, they signed Malik Hooker, they signed Trayvon Diggs. They're going to sign CeeDee Lamb. They're going to sign Micah Parsons. They signed Donovan Wilson. What player are you talking about that they're not going to be able to keep on their team because of Dak Prescott's contract?
It's going to be this year, guys. You have to make cap casualty decisions down the road. It could be anyone. I'm not saying you're going to lose anyone right now because you're going to have to re-sign Dak. Micah Parsons is not leaving. I'm saying down the road, Dak Prescott, when his next contract comes, cuts are going to have to be made, guys, to make a salary cap work. It's it's a little baffling to me that you guys actually aren't more in tune with the cap, like you probably should be with a quarterback.
Here's my thing now. When it comes to Dak Prescott and the Cowboys do a really good job drafting. And that's the thing. They understand, okay, we now pay our quarterback a lot of money. We have to move. Granted, they've drafted well for a long time. But that's where I come in here and I say, okay, they have their difference makers. Micah Parsons, difference maker. They're going to sign him. CeeDee Lamb, difference maker. They're going to sign him. They signed Trayvon Diggs. They signed Terrence Steele. They're going to sign maybe a Biotic gets away from them, but I think having a Dak Prescott on your team makes up for, okay, we have to replace Biotic with a center that's probably not as good as him, or as Keyshawn Johnson called him, bigotish. I don't know if anybody saw that this morning.
I saw that clip.
But that's the thing now, right? Like, yes, you're going to have to make cuts to your cap, but it's not going to, you're not losing Micah or CD or any of these guys. These are the difference makers. Mm-hmm. All those guys that you're going to lose to the cap, like at Dalton Schultz, you replaced them with Jake Ferguson, who, yes, this year he might not be as good as Dalton Schultz, but again, that's kind of what happens when you keep a quarterback. I do agree with what you're saying, but you're talking about, but the thing is, they're not losing any of those big guys. But big fella, I know you wanted to rebut. I'll let you rebut.
Well,
round 2.
I don't like ganging on Benjamin. He says Fox don't have a tight end, they don't have a defensive end. Maybe they need to hire one in your position. Maybe they can, make a little bit more money, and then we can blame Fox for their downfall in Arizona. It's like this. You keep focusing on the Cowboys salary cap. Okay, the Cowboys are wonderful and masterful with their salary cap. Everybody thought that they wasn't going to sign Martin. Man, it ain't no way they was going to let a Hall of Fame guard sit on the bench for the whole season. They wasn't going to do it. It was no way that they was going to let Trayvon Diggs walk away. They wasn't going to do it. It's a certain things that you don't have to worry about on this side of town, because that loudmouth that talk too much is like Jerry Jones. He's still gonna pay all his damn players. Remember, he didn't have the money when they went and got Deion Sanders. He didn't have a dime, but they made it work. Okay, so don't worry about Dak money. Okay, like I said, I'll see you in Arizona week 3, and I want to see that pay stub.
Hey Chris, I'm gonna be in Arizona on week 3 too. We gotta link up. Let's check out his pay stub.
You're gonna be very depressed when you see my pay stub.
Hey,
very rich guys.
We need to talk to you.
Ben, I got a question though. What about Philly? Philly just paid Jalen Hurts. Are they gonna have the same problems?
Well, I don't want to get off on a tangent like that. We'll talk about that later though. One more thing that I want to bring up. So, Lucas, who do you think is going to win this game?
Cowboys and Giants. I didn't really talk about it in our podcast, but I really think it's going to be a really close game. I don't really see, like y'all said, the Cowboys could win by 10 points. I don't really see that. I could see y'all coming up late, like late score touchdown or field goal. But I think it's going to be an overall close game. I think we should have a bunch of mismatches we didn't really have last year. D-line's obviously a mismatch for your offensive line. We got better linebackers now. Secondary's improved. So really everywhere is improved on the team. So it's a lot different this year. I still think y'all are a really good team. I think y'all should win this game. Like, y'all are the better team, obviously. I think it'll still be close.
Yeah. So I want to do one more thing, and then we'll get into the super chat that we got here, and then we'll log off. Big fella, you seem to be a fan favorite from the stream. So I got to ask you, you are definitely in tune with the Cowboys history. You've played offensive line in the past. The Cowboys have a big history when it comes to offensive line play. Who is your all-time offensive line for the Cowboys?
Eric Williams. Eric Williams, because he was nasty. I love offensive linemen with attitude. Okay. And for those who really don't know who Eric Williams is, he was a part of those 3 Super Bowl wins and everything like that. But what stands out to me about Eric Williams, the best defensive player in that area was Reggie White. It was only one man in the planet Earth that could handle Reggie White and handled him well, and it was Eric Williams. You can go back and watch the videos all you want, because the big fella keep the receipts on that. So Eric Williams, number 79 for the Cowboys, is my all-time favorite offensive lineman. Should be in the Hall of Fame. He would have been if he wouldn't have gotten the cart wreck.
What do you play, right tackle?
Real quick. Ben's got to go. Ben, I appreciate you for coming on, bro. I appreciate you for giving us your time.
Fellas, we can listen. You don't have to say goodbye just yet. 4 pretty soon. Sorry, guys. I get up at 4 I work. It's called The Drive here on Fox Sports 910 here in Phoenix. I'm the executive producer here. I get up at 4 a.m. So I'm not trying to duck smoke, but it is 8 o'clock here. And I gotta
absolutely.
Get to bed soon.
No, you're good, bro. No, you're good. Yeah, we appreciate you for coming out. You've been I love talking to you, man.
Just call me if you need some content in Arizona. Call me.
Yeah, we talked about making this happen. So I appreciate you for coming out, bro.
Thank you, Ben.
We'll definitely have you when
fellas, whatever you need, podcast to come back tomorrow. The Benjamin Garcia Show. You guys will see a lot of the things. I'm a very hot take oriented guy, backed up with statistics. You guys can find me on Instagram at I am Benjamin Garcia and TikTok, Benjamin Talk Sports. And you can just hate follow me. Whatever.
Nice
comment on there that you don't like me. It's all good. Make it happen.
Hey, I appreciate you, Ben.
I love you.
But so from Chris, so from left tackle, left guard, center, right guard, right tackle, who's your 5? And then you can explain why you have that 5, and then we'll wrap up.
You mean all time?
Yeah, like if you made an all-time offensive
Okay.
line from left tackle to
and I hate to leave off a Hall of Famer like Rayfield Wright, but I was such a young kid, so I'm only going by what I saw. Okay.
Is this just Cowboys or like every team?
Just Cowboys.
Okay, word.
So
Word.
I'm gonna put 2 and A at the left tackle. Okay. At the right guard, Nate Newton. At center, we're gonna put my man who just retired. Why am I drawing a blank?
Travis Frederick.
Fred Beard.
Travis Frederick slightly overstepped Noski. Of course, Larry Allen at the other guard and Eric Williams at the tackle.
Hold up, you would take
And I know
Nate
y'all
Newton?
saying, hey, you leaving out Zach Martin, but Zach Martin
you would
wasn't better
take
than
Nate
Larry
Newton-
Allen.
You would
Oh,
take
no,
Nate
he wasn't.
Newton
Well, I'm
over
going
Zach
by
Martin?
position.
No,
Well, he can
so
play left
Zach
guard. He
played-
can switch over. He can switch over.
Well, hey,
But right
you
guard,
asked
you would
my
take-
you asked my opinion. You asked my
I know. I
opinion.
just want some clarification.
Hey, that's what he
Nate
likes.
Newton over Zach Martin.
Yes, Larry Allen, Nate Newton, over Zach Martin. I'm going by the position they play. Okay, so Larry Allen is in the Hall of Fame, and he played right guard. Okay, right now Zach Martin is not in the Hall of Fame, which he will
Larry
be.
Allen was a
Larry
That's
Allen
fair.
is the greatest Cowboys offensive lineman. Okay,
He probably is the greatest
cool.
ever offensive
Yeah,
line in general.
it's definitely he's
So-
definitely in the
I-
argument.
Hey,
definitely is.
I do want to get into this super chat before we
OG
go.
knows.
Huncho, I appreciate you for that $4.99 super chat. Marion Barber
Way to
or
go,
rookie
Huncho.
second year Zeke for the panel. I'll start with you, big fella.
I'm sorry, I missed the question.
Marion Barber, Marion the Barbarian, or second year Zeke for the panel.
It'll
Rookie
be
and
Zeke
second
all-
year.
It'll
rookie
go.
and
It'll be
second year, I'm
Zeke
sorry.
all the way. It'll be Zeke all the way for me. Being a Michigan fan, I had to appreciate the Ohio State running back. Zeke put in a lot of work for us, guys. But you got to remember, once Marion Barber started for the Cowboys, he went straight downhill. They took him out of his element. His role was to come in. He was the relief pitcher. He was designed for the cleanup.
Relief
Okay,
pitcher.
but when they made him start, he exerted all his energy in that first half, and you notice in the second half, Marion Barber just went straight downhill. And then when he started starting for the Cowboys, he went downhill. Zeke was a more consistent running back, and I'm gonna miss him. But hey, it was time for Zeke to go.
Real.
Sadly.
For what Zeke was able to do, catching the ball out of the backfield, like there are some catches that Zeke has out of the backfield that are absolutely insane. Like fading down the sideline kind of catches out of your backfield is just insane for your running back to be able to do. I really, really, really want to say Marion Barber just because I know his O-line was never as good as Zeke's was, but Zeke is just too dynamic of a player in every aspect of the game, from his blocking ability to his running ability to his ability to catch the ball. Zeke was different. Zeke was there. I just wish he spent a little bit more time on it. Maybe, I don't know. He was so talented that it's just like when it was gone, it was just not the same.
Definitely. Lucas.
I didn't really watch a lot of Marion Barber, I'm gonna be honest with you. So
Yeah,
I am gonna
I
go
was
Zeke.
a little one as well.
Yes.
One as well.
Yeah, so I am gonna go with Zeke. So I definitely did watch Zeke, but Zeke was different in his rookie year. Like that was a different
facts.
guy. Like to see where he is now is really disappointing because he was just so good back then. But
Yes,
it was a necessary loss for the Cowboys, honestly. But yeah, I'm going Zeke.
Surf.
Yeah, man, I didn't get to watch Barber, but Zeke first year was special, man. He was out there jumping over people. That thing was really special, bro. Yeah, I got to go with Zeke.
Kyle. I'll
You
finish it
said
off with you.
this, so you said, just to specify, you said second year Zeke, right?
Rookie
First
and
and
second
second.
First
year.
and second.
Oh, okay, I was about to say if it was just second year, he missed a few games. But you know what? I'm just to level out the board. I'm gonna go with Marion Barber. I think obvious answer is probably Ezekiel Elliott, but man, Marion Barber, those years that he had when he was given his full strength, that was a lot of fun. So
It was.
I'll even it out. I'll just say Barber. Rest in peace.
Yeah,
We miss him.
yeah. Rest in
I'm-
peace,
I'm
Marion
in-
Barber.
I'm in
Oh,
the same
damn.
age group as Lucas and Surf. I wasn't, I think Marion Barber was that 2007-ish range.
Yeah, I was not
I'm
watching
not-
football then.
I was
Yeah,
6.
I watched football, but I couldn't necessarily
Damn, man,
comprehend what was
I
going
was like
on.
a
so
senior in high school.
I was like 10
Oh
years old
my.
at that time.
Damn.
So
Damn.
So I'll have to go.
I'm gonna
Look,
be
Zeke was different, and look,
Never be
I'm an
quiet.
Ohio State fan too, so I got to go with my guy Zeke.
You got this
Um,
special. You got to see him all years.
Yes, sir. So, that's going to be it for the first episode of Cowboys Nation on Player's Choice. I want to thank the panelists that were on that, had to dip out. We appreciate them for coming by. I appreciate you guys for stopping by. Obviously we have a regular panel with the big fella, Rue, and Tony Goat, Kyle. And then I want to thank the two guys, Lucas and Surf, for stopping by. I want to thank all you guys for stopping by. And this was a blast. We're going to be doing this next Tuesday. We could potentially be adding another Cowboys Nation show coming up here soon, but we'll let you guys know about that. Game on Sunday. We'll be here next Tuesday to recap that. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.
Thank you, Beat. Thank you for having me.
Peace.
Yes, sir.